and we are Group 1, and today we are going to talk about cardiovascular system. And the group members are Clara, Jennifer, Belle, JK, John, and me.
This is the content of our presentation. First, we are going to introduce main organs. The first main organs we are going to introduce is heart. Heart is a muscular organ in our body. The heart is the most animals which pumps blood through the blood vessels in the cardiovascular system. The pumped blood carries oxygen and nutrients to the body, while carrying the metabolic waste such as carbon dioxide. The size of a heart is approximately to the size of a closed fist. It's located between the lungs and in the middle of compartment of the chest. This is a picture of our heart. In humans or other mammals, of course, the birds, the heart is divided into 4 chambers: upper left and right atria, here, and left ventricle, right ventricle is the lower one. So there's 4 chambers.
And next I'm going to talk about blood. Blood is a body fluid in humans and other animals that delivers necessary substances such as nutrients and oxygens to the cells and transport the metabolic waste products away from those same cells. And it consists of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets.
This is the whole blood. After being contributions, it will be divided into 3 parts: plasma, buffy coat, and the red blood cells. Plasma is about 55% of our total blood, and the buffy coat included white blood cells and the platelets. It's included about lower than 1%, and the red blood cells 45% of our total blood. This is the red blood cells, platelets, and the white blood cells. Red blood cells is bring oxygen, nutrients, and platelet is the smallest cells in our blood, and the white blood cell is the biggest.
And this is the blood vessels. The blood vessels are the components of the cardiovascular system that transport blood throughout the human body. These vessels transport blood cells, nutrients, and oxygen to the tissues of the body. They also take waste and carbon dioxide away from the tissues. Blood vessels are needed to sustain life because all of the body tissues rely on their functionality. And these are 5 types of blood vessels. And this is the artery, this is the arterial, and this is capillaries, and venule and veins.
The artery and the arterial brings the oxygen blood, and the vein and venule brings the oxygenated blood. Capillaries is where they exchange oxygen, so it will be oxygen rich to deoxygenated. Second part, we are going to introduce functions of the cardiovascular system. Its primary function is to transport nutrients and oxygen-rich blood to all parts of our body, and to carry the oxygenated blood back to the lungs. This is the cycle of our cardiovascular system. I will start it here. The left heart with rich oxygen blood. It will go through arterioles, then capillaries, back to the venous, vein, and to the right heart, then into the lungs, go back to the left heart and go again. Then it's divided into upper part and the lower part. This is the total here are the upper part and lower part. Disease. The first disease we are going to introduce is cardiovascular disease. It is a class of disease that named all of the disease that's included in the cardiovascular system.
And the exact cause of cardiovascular disease isn't clear, but there are a lot of things that can increase your risk of getting it, such as high blood pressure, smoking, high cholesterol, diabetes, inactivity, and so on, and family history.
The next we are going to introduce is coronary artery disease, CAD. It's also called coronary heart disease. It is the most common we can saw in the cardiovascular system disease. A common symptom is chest pain or discomfort, which may travel into the shoulder, arm, back, neck, or jaw. Types include stable angina, unstable angina, myocardial infarction, and sudden cardiac death.
Coronary arteries are the blood vessels that supply oxygen-rich blood to your heart muscle to keep it pumping. So, coronary artery disease is a narrowing blockage of your coronary arteries, usually caused by the buildup of fatty material called plaque. And plaque consists of cholesterol, waste product, calcium, and so on. And the forming of plaque in the blood vessels usually starts when you're very young. Before your teen years, the blood vessel wall starts to show streaks of fat. As plaque deposits in your artery inner walls, your body fights back against this ongoing process by sending white blood cells to attack the cholesterol. But the attack causes more inflammation. This triggers yet other cells in the artery wall to form a soft cut over the plaque. And this thin cap over the plaque can break open due to blood pressure or other causes. Blood cells fragments called platelets stick to the sites of the injury, causing a clot to form. The clot further narrows arteries, and sometimes a blood clot breaks apart on its own. Other times the clot blocks blood flow through the artery, depriving the heart of oxygen and causing a heart attack.
The next disease we are going to say is the cerebrovascular disease. Cerebrovascular disease includes a variety of medical conditions and affect the blood vessels of the brain and the cerebral circulations. Arteries supplying oxygen and nutrients to the brain are often damaged or deformed in these disorders.
For example, blockage, malformation, or hemorrhage prevents the brain cells from getting enough oxygen. And cerebrovascular disease can develop from a variety of causes, including atherosclerosis, which the arteries become narrow, and thrombosis, which is a blood clot in an artery of the brain, and the cerebral venous thrombosis, which is a blood clot in a vein of the brain. And there are some symptoms of the cerebrovascular disease, such as a severe and sudden headache, and a paralysis of one side of the body, and confusion, and difficulty communicating, and loss of balance, losing vision, and so on.
A cerebrovascular disease, in a simple word, is stroke. The risk factor for stroke is obesity, high blood cholesterol, heart disease, medication, alcohol, stress, physical activity, high blood pressure, smoking, and diabetes.
And this is all of our presentation. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for listening.